Denedria Banks, MSW, is a social worker, author, and the founder of GEM Communications. Diagnosed at 9 with Charcot-Marie-Tooth syndrome, she has watched her body and physical function deteriorate over the years, but has maintained that she would not allow her disease to control her life. Denedria enjoys motivating audiences to reach their fullest potential.
The one question that I have for you today is, will you get up? When that life-altering challenge comes your way, will you get up? My philosophy in life is very simple. My today does not have to be my tomorrow. In turn, your today does not have to be your tomorrow. You know, I give this presentation at corporate events, universities, and other workshops because I believe that each one of us can create and direct how our life is going to be. You know, it's basically based upon the choices we make. We can choose to be a victim of our situation, or we can be victorious despite our situation. That last part has become something of importance for me to meditate on as I've gone through so many challenges in my life. But remembering that I can choose how to look at it, it just reinstores my power. I can choose to be a victim and dwell, or choose to be victorious and live. And right there, I have restored my internal power. You know, challenges in life, they come in so many different forms. They can look like a pinch on the skin. We rub it, blow on it, it dissipates in the wind. And then there are those that will literally knock you off of your feet. They can look like a loss of a spouse, a loss of a job, a loss of financial independence. Even still, they can look like loss of self, both physically and mentally. You know, but anybody can fall face on the ground. But I found that only the determined and the willful will get up. So again, I ask you, will you get up? Yes. You know, I found vanity very late in life. I dabbled with it when I was 19, but I think I fully embraced the concept at 28. Yeah, I think that's right. You know, learning to love myself has become a lifelong process. And one of the skills that I learned that I needed to have was the skill of compromise. Not with others, but with myself. You know, but I bet you never realized how shoes, or a lack of shoe selection, would place how a person would learn to love themselves. Ever since I was 12, I used to, you know, be in distress about wearing those cute little pumps that my girlfriends and my sister would wear. But wearing bilateral leg braces, that kind of made it an impossible task for me to do. So we had to settle on unisex shoes. Well, I had to settle on them. And they were unisex, but they were really men's shoes, you guys. Now, these shoes were usually clunky and heavier, but they were flat and they stayed on my feet, so I got used to them. And I could usually find them in black and white, coordinating with my dressier outfits at the time, so it was all good. But when I turned 16, I was about to be a debutante, have a coming out celebration to society, announcing myself as a woman. Well, it was going to be one of the most elegant and important events of my entire life at that time. And as excited as I was to participate in this event, I was so nervous because I didn't want to wear unisex shoes. So after months of research, we found a wedding store in Pasadena, and I was introduced to ballerina slippers. Now these slippers, they were white, elegant, soft, and most importantly, they laced up around my leg braces, giving me the day that I really wanted. Now, if only these legs would have maintained their dexterity that they had when I was 16. So today I can still wear those little shoes with the lacing around my leg braces, but this is where compromise comes in. If I want to maintain that outward vanity, because I'm always vain inside, if I want to maintain that, then I usually compromise with myself as far as safety and comfortability. So before I make the final shoe selection of the day, I usually have a dialogue with my legs that goes something like this. Denedria, are you going to be by yourself today? Actually, I think I am. Denedria, what kind of pavement are we walking on today? You know what? I really don't know. Denedria, Are you gonna be doing a lot of standing or walking? I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of standing and walking. Denedria, have you even consulted us today? Did you ask us how we were feeling about walking around today? Here's the fact, people. If my legs say no go, all bets are off. And today, I've worn my comfortable shoes. So today, we've talked about how your today does not have to be your tomorrow. We've talked about how each one of us in here is a gem. Each one of us in here is unique and different and beautiful. We've talked about how sometimes people lump us together just on association or circumstances, but that if they just take a moment to put us to the side, polish us off a little bit, hold us into the light, then they would see all of the beauty and light that we have inside of us. And we went around the room and we shared some definitions of ourselves. And that allowed me to see how beautiful you all have defined who you are. But guess what? The definition is only half of the battle. So you're about to leave here today. And before you leave, I want you to actually turn to your ally and share with them 2 or 3 things that will help you on the road to defining a new tomorrow. It could be as easy as joining the gym, and that's not easy. It could be letting go of caffeine, and I'm a Dr. Pepper junkie, so I know how hard that is. It could actually be going back to school or walking away from a relationship that you know you don't need to be in. You know, so I need you to right now turn to your ally, share 2 or 3 things that you will do to start to alter your tomorrow.